Alrighty, welcome to the channel, and today on the menu we have my daughter's R56 Mini. So this is a 2011 Mini Cooper. It is not the S. It's in pepper white, and I don't know why I said that, but anyway, the color is so important when you're doing a video here. And the problem with the car is that the air conditioning does not work. So what we're going to do today is I've actually already diagnosed it, but we'll go in and kind of show what the diagnosis looked like, which is basically we have a leaking compressor and what is possibly a leak on the condenser. And I couldn't find a DIY anywhere on YouTube on how to replace this compressor, so we're going to go ahead and get this compressor and condenser out. The symptom here is air conditioning does not cool. You can hear the compressor kicking on, and but again it doesn't cool. I actually did recharge the compressor. I bought one of those kits from the auto parts store, this one, and if you recharge the system, it does work for a short while, but then it leaks out the Freon again. Somewhere along the line of the ownership of the car, someone had put a dye into the air conditioning Freon. So obviously this car had a leaking issue before we bought it, and through that I was able to diagnose exactly where the leaks are. So on the car, what I found was a leak on the compressor right by the pulley, and also on the condenser itself. So we'll go back, I'll show you how to get to those parts, and then we'll take the front underneath the engine. There's like a cowling we'll remove from the car. You need to do that to get the condenser out. I'm hoping that gives us good access to the compressor. Honestly, there's not many DIYs, or I don't find any on how to do this job, so we're going to be stringing together knowledge from a few different DIYs to figure out how to do this. And so I previously got the system evacuated, so it's had the remaining Freon taken out of it. You don't want to let that stuff into the atmosphere, so you can see this is my work order here. Paid 60 bucks. They billed me for half an hour just to evacuate that Freon, and it's the same to get it recharged as well, plus the cost of Freon when I'm done. So I figure, why mess around with that? I'll have them properly vacuum test it and also add the Freon. So anyway, so that's the plan here. We'll bring the car in, we'll jack it up, we'll get it to a position where we can work on it. The most tricky part to get it is the compressor. The condenser should be fairly easy. I've already bought some parts, so this is our replacement compressor. This is the condenser from the same manufacturer, and then I got a bunch of O-rings as well, just in case. I also bought some oil, and I need to have the oil in before I take it to the shop to get it recharged. This, I believe, is the wrong oil, so I might have to go to the auto parts store to get it. I guess they have a different, there's this PL rating, and this is 68, and I believe that's wrong for this car, and I believe it's not what this compressor has in it. I'm expecting to find a compressor already has some oil in it. Like, unlike most things these days, there's actually some instructions that come with a compressor. And this particular compressor, I got this from autohouse.az, came with some O-rings as well, which I didn't expect. So I got a whole bunch of O-rings now, but that should be enough to do the job. Obviously you want to replace those on any fittings you removed. And I'll have to go dig up the invoice to see what I paid for this, but the local shop wanted to charge me, let's think, it was about 1,500 bucks to do this job, so that was parts and labor. Parts, I'm like well under 500 bucks, so I think it was like maybe 400 bucks for the parts. So we'll see how hard it is and see whether I save myself $1,000, or whether, like happens most times, I'm gonna be kicking myself when I get this job's done, and I wish I'd paid someone else. So with that being said, let's get into it and crack on. that moment when you realize you just filmed the last piece in time lapse. So anyway, just to talk through what we did here. So we'll go back under and have a look at where I believe the issue is, which is going to require us turning off the lights. We remove the grill. Put our handy dandy trim tool back. Oh, here's our little blue light. Oh, let's knock the lights out so we can see that. All right, so I'm seeing a little bit of the telltale fluorescent dye. You can see a little bit there. So I'm trying to remember if I saw anything else. There's almost too much natural light in here to see, but yeah, I can definitely see. Might not come out on the GoPro, but I can definitely see some fluorescent dye right in there. And also, this thing's bent. Like, I don't know if this thing had any front end damage. It's listed as clean title, so I didn't see any accidents in the history. But anyway, who knows? Who knows the history of a 2011 130,000 mile car? And under here, on the inside of the pulley, you can see bright fluorescent dye. So this compressor has definitely been leaking. So yeah, we're gonna swap those two out. So here's the rest of what we're gonna end up doing. We have to detach, to take the bumper off, which we need to do to get to the condenser and compressor, is we have to detach these wheel arch extensions from the fender liner. So we have to at least loosen off the front half of the fender liner, and indeed that gets us access to the compressor. We're going to pop the headlights out because we want to get this piece off, this whole black piece here, which will mean we got to pop the headlights out. That's going to give us much better access to our condenser and everything else, and it's also going to give us access to the tensioner for that auxiliary belt there. So well, let's go ahead and get that done. The only thing I'm not sure about is exactly how we disconnect these fender extensions there. I'm sure they're popped on somehow, but we'll remove the fasteners on the inside in there. Oh, and then under the bumper, I believe there's a three, four rivets and some screws as well, so we'll do that. Alrighty, check out this baby. I should like the correct tool here now. You know, that does make it a lot easier. That thing is knackered. Alrighty. Old eyes. I'm guessing this is Torx. Let's try the Torx. Oh yeah, baby, look at that T25 Torx. That's that. So all I need is a little handle. Come on, me beauty. There we go. Camera down. Can't see it. Gonna stop the camera. Take the screw out. Come back. Okay, so two of these removed with T25 Torx, one on each side. Okay, headlights next. Ooh, 10 mil. And this, I hope I can do this without any readjustment needed. I hate aiming headlights. You know what you need to re-aim headlights? Flat ground, dark, and a tape measure. You know what's a pain? For me, flat ground 25 feet away from a wall light. I'm like, where is that, right? So, not that I need to do it on this car, but on a Volkswagen GTI I had. Anyway, it ended up being something I actually didn't do at the end of the day. All right, let's hope this is the last one. And the curse of one-handedness while holding the thing. Alright, well, it looks like the bolts come out, and you can see the larger threaded pieces that go around the bolt. So that looks to be the aiming adjustment. So Hopefully we can pop these headlights out without any... Oh, look, one more. Without re-aiming anything. All right, let me get this without... I'm going to hold the headlight and do it with two hands. So, see you in a sec. Wow, this is super easy. So, one connector, little push tab on either side. You can see that. There's one underneath that I'm doing with my other finger. Yeah, use two hands, just wiggle it back. And then this whole assembly from Mr. Headlight. I don't want to drop this because it's probably super expensive. Oh, I lied. Oh, because we got headlamp washers. Oh, shoot. All right, oh. I'm guessing, I wonder if we're going to lose any water. But it looks like there's a little clip that pops up, and then this little cable for the headlight washers comes off. And once again, it's a two-hander. Man, that was easy. So, yeah, this little clip, watch you don't lose it. It just popped up and off. I'm going to put it back so I know where it is. So that's the water for the headlight washer. And... yeah, it just pushed right onto there, but it was not even a task to get it off, and that O-ring still seems in good shape. Cool. Alrighty. Exciting. Feels like we're getting somewhere. Oh, this is cool. We get to see a little bit more of what retains various pieces on here as well. So, yeah, we get to see our little side marker light and side marker reflector down in there. We still got to figure out how to take these off. But I'm going to go ahead, get this headlight out, and start that. Then we have Mini with no eyes. Okay, so headlights are out. What we're going to do now is we're going to remove these guys. I already messed this one up when I fiddled with this earlier to get into it to see what was going on. But we're going to remove these little plugs here to basically, these are such a pain. What you're doing with these things is there's like a Phillips screw slot in the top. Probably easier to get one out and then show you. See if we can do that. So that, gosh, I mean, I don't know why car manufacturers do this. Like, there's like about 50 different types of fastener on this car. I'm sure it's hugely flippin' important that you get the right type of fastener for the right area, but good grief. Let me pop this out and show you. You know, normally I'd wear gloves while doing this, but gloves are pretty hard to come by right now with the pandemic. Alright, so here we go. Pretty simple. Again, don't know why they can't use the push pin ones here, but this guy threads in and pushes their little just little pieces out there to hold these guys on. So I'm going to remove 4 of these. There might be maybe something else up here. And then see what we can do to fold this back. Oh, these come out. These are pretty easy. They just rotate. Pop them out. It's going to give some more flexibility to the fender liner. Then what we're going to have to do is remove any plugs. There's no park distance control on this, so this is easy, but I'm pretty sure, well, actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure these lights are in the fender, so, I mean, in the bumper, so we're going to have to remove the wires going to those lights, but again, that should be pretty straightforward. All right, back in a sec. Oops. Well, that was fun. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips. Actually, there's one up here too, behind the strut. So, all right, let's work on that. So now we just kind of pull this fender liner out of the way a bit here, and we'll be able to see what's going on. Okie dokie. All right. So, oh, there's another sensor piece that has to be removed. I believe this is a temperature sensor. It's just great. Is there another way to get out of the bumper? Oh, how about that? Come on, you know you want to. Alright, I'm going to use a screwdriver to get this little grasping clip off here. And then I'm going to get a light in here and see exactly what... Oh, it looks like there's just a little piece you push in to release to get the... Oh, let's shine my light in there so you can see. To get the connector off the back of the light here. Okie dokie, let me fiddle with these and then I'll come back. Alrighty, so we're back. Okay, so just picking up where we left off. All we did is, I figured out that, I don't know why I didn't figure this out before, that I really needed to jack up the other side of the car to get to, you know, be able to disconnect the fender liner to get the bumper off. I think you can probably do it with the wheel still on, but it just seemed easier to do this. So anyway, so I just took the clips out there, repeated what I'd done on the other side. Now, getting the bumper off is interesting. It's kind of the only thing that's a little tricky here. And you can see this is interesting. I've got a broken clip in here, but it gives you an idea. This is one of those push pins where the center should come out, and then you should pop this out. And that actually connects the car, connects to, where is it? Oh, that's that. Oh, this guy. No, actually that's the screw that connects to this guy. What does that connect to? I think I'm going mad. There's the vertical one connects to this. Oh, I guess in that case it connects to this. Yeah, you have to get this out. And then what you do to get the bumper off is you give this, you hold the bumper and then give this a sharp knock forward. And these little clips go in, you'll see there's some clips that kind of hang into the bumper. They go into here. Those disconnect. Now, the only thing that was a pain I ended up fiddling around with, you see those gray clips? If you pull too far back on this, like where they're retained in this side piece, will crack. So it's not like super strong. So anyway, what you can do is you can give them a squeeze on the end and disconnect them so you can at least get that piece back. I used a little tiny ratcheting Torx that I've got here to remove the bolt that was in here that holds the bumper to this panel here. And so I didn't, on this one I really didn't need to get as much room, but you can compress these clips from the back and at least get this wheel arch extension out a little bit. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to actually put the car in service mode, which basically means just pulling this whole assembly forward a few inches. So to do that, we have to disconnect this front module from the fender here, or at least take this bolt out. So I'll have to get in there, and then you end up undoing this bolt, these, take this off, and then underneath, it's kind of like it's almost telescoping. So underneath the car there's a couple of rails. Let's go have a look. So if you look here, you'll see those bolts, and this piece of the subframe, bits in my eyes, should wear eye protection. This part of the subframe will actually slide forward. And also we have to take these off, but at least that gives us a few more inches of clearance, because what I'm trying to work with is I'm trying to get to the compressor here. So as you can see, if I can move this piece of the car forward by at least 2 or 3 inches, I'm gonna have a lot more room to work in there, because the challenge now is removing that compressor And I thought I'd have more access when I get to this point than I've got, and I really don't. So that's why I'm gonna put the car into what they call service mode, which is basically just sliding this whole front section forward. The AC lines stay onto the condenser and the water lines stay onto the radiator, but this whole thing just slides forward. Okay, so 10 mil bolts came out of here and here, and now we have 13 mil bolts here, here. Yep, so we're going to take those out, and we'll do these Torx. I think they're T30s, and then this piece should come off. Sorry, I wasn't pointing the camera where I was looking. I hope. Anyway, these are T30s and these are 13s. So we'll take those out and then we'll come back. Alright, so here's one piece I couldn't work out on other people's videos. This just pops straight up on mine. There's two little pieces here that secure it to this cross member. But this piece, yeah, all I did was like pop a screwdriver in there. This little housing flicks open. You just pop the cable up, disconnect it, and then I guess I think this grommet comes out here. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh. Some little tabs on the back. But I guess this piece is meant to, I guess you can close that up. And it's meant to slide through here. So when you take this piece up and off, you're good. Oh, one thing I forgot was that there is there's a pin for the bottle there. So we need our, let's just get that going a little bit. And then we put our handy dandy tool here. Put the screw with the ones for the top. And again, this is going to be hard to do while holding the camera, but this piece will lift up now. Alright, so what we did here, you get a little grommet thing that you kind of unclip. You just kind of push it up and through and then feed it back down. Then if you remove the lid off the little cable housing here, it is actually small enough at that point to go through the hole. Well, he says that. Oh yes, yes. We're free! Oh my goodness. Go fly, go to the ocean. Alright. Okay, so that was fun. Anyway, wow. You can squeeze these little pins on the back and pop them out. But yeah, it's fun. I don't know if I know a trick from that. Anyway, we're going to use the 10 mil here. Let's get this guy loaded up. To remove this bolt. Yeah. Thank you for using these really long screw there. So we do that one, and then this one here. Alright, got that started. This one's pretty easy. Finish those by hand. That's what we're taking out. Let's finish this one. Just difficult to do with one hand. So I used a long 13 on this. I'm going to use a long 13 on this one. And there's also one more underneath there. And this, oh, didn't show you. Underneath there. And the same on the other side. Alright, now we're cooking on gas. So, remove the bolts from both sides. 3 in this overrider here. Did the ones underneath. At this point, you can literally slide this whole front assembly forward. It takes a little bit of wiggling around. I noticed a guy on the YouTube hit it on with a mallet, but I don't require to do that. So anyway, you can see from where this is how far it's slidden forward. I don't know, what have we got? 3 inches of extra clearance there. Actually, this one's not out as far as it should be. It does take a little wiggling. I'm going to wiggle this one out a bit further so we get some better access to our compressor. But already, Look at this, exciting stuff. This is the tensioner for the serpentine belt. So what we can do here is pull forward on this, like that. And then, I don't think I can film it as well, but hold on, I'll bring you back in a second. What I was able to do is pull this wrench forward, like this, and then push that little button in there, and that holds the tensioner up off the serpentine belt. So now I've got, you can see down here, yay, a nice loose belt. Awesome. All right, gonna go swap the GoPro battery. Okay, so in figuring out how to get the old compressor out, I'm just gonna have a look at the new one. So honestly, as far as the new one goes, it looks like we have 3 mounting bolts and deux trois. And then we've got where our AC lines connect in. I presume these are just little blanks to cover it up and keep the oil in. It looks like they ship with oil. Oh, okay. This compressor contains PAG 46 oil for R134A. That's the refrigerant. Do not add PAO oil. Well, what is the difference between PAG oil and PAO? I'm guessing it's a different type of oil. So beyond that, I'm guessing this is where the oil is added, which is supposed to be already in there, and then we just have our little power connector. So I figure on the one in the car, I guess what I need to do is just disconnect the power connector, which is underneath. Find a little socket to get on these. These are where the refrigerant lines are going to bolt on, and then we'll hit the main retaining bolts. Question. Oh, I shall read the instructions too as well, because I'm that sort of person. So we have a fair amount of room. I'll only get the light. So I think we can easily access the bolts holding the refrigerant lines on from the top here. Hopefully there's a bit of movement there. Then I think we'll have enough space to get onto the retention bolts from underneath, I guess. And that's probably the cable to the clutch. So I guess we'll remove that from underneath and just probably slide the belt out of the way. And Bob's your uncle. And then maybe I'll attack the condenser. As far as I can see in the condenser, we have refrigerant line here, and a couple of mounting bolts. And that's it, so that should be easy. Let's just take this off. I think this is the low. Wow. That's on tight. Let me get a glove. This will be the low side. Just hit this with a pick and make sure it's evaporated. Just the tiniest bit of pressure in there. I don't think that's refrigerant. I just think it's a temperature differential to put a bit of pressure in to do that. All right, put that on just to keep any crap out of there. Okie dokie. Yeah, I think time to find a socket to hit those lines. All right, should be fun. Alrighty, so compressor time. Isn't this exciting? So, oh gosh. So first thing we're gonna do here, little tripod here, is, oh yeah, this will work. We're gonna remove the move the power for the compressor. Looks like, stick that there. Looks like we're just going to be able to Oh, well, that could not have been easier. And then as far as I can see, we've got this bolt and two at top and then two holding the refrigerant lines on. So let's, maybe we'll see, can we get, you know, the only one that is interesting here is see this guy? It looks like it's behind the refrigerant line, so I think that's the only one that might be interesting. This one you can get to. So let's maybe disconnect this line. I don't know how flexible that's going to be. But we'll disconnect this line and see if we can get some access to that to get a socket on it. Otherwise, maybe a wrench with an angled end on it. But that looks to be the most interesting one. But if this easily moves out of the way, then we're going to have enough access to that. So I'll get a socket on there. Oh, I'm talking, but I'm not showing you. So what we're looking at here is this. We're looking at this nut here. If you can see that. I'm concerned about access to get onto that, so I'm going to remove this bolt that holds on this refrigerant line, because this nut's easy to get to. And where's the other one? Oh, there. You can see that. Oh, it's super easy to get to too. So let's see how this goes. This is great. Yeah, I got the socket on from above, so I'm just going to work on that now. See down there. See if I can stick my handy dandy light. Oh, I guess that's not ally, huh? There we go. Lights, camera, action. So oh, that looks loose. Because the reflection, it kind of looked wet. I was just making sure that it wasn't. Not hitting the back of the radiator here. This is just a plastic shield. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, look at that. Way better. They say a bigger tool is better for the job. Whoops. But sometimes a small tool is just fine. Bear with me a sec. Alright, so this is going swimmingly. So I just took the two 10mm nuts off of here and here, and these guys just pop right up, which has certainly given us enough room to access that bolt from either up here or below. So let me get in there. I'm guessing that's like a 12, so let me see if we can get in there with a 12. Actually, it's a 13, so let's get in there with a 13. You know, the bane of these jobs is not doing them, it's access. Sorry, my light moved. There we go. I think this light was just something I picked up at Harbor Freight. Pretty cool. It is a pain to change the batteries though. You remove little screws and take the whole thing apart, but it's got two sections of LEDs on. Small one at the end and then a whole bank on the other side. And then, ooh, I think I can even see the last one here. See if I can get to that. Yeah, it might be easier from the bottom with a shorter socket. And then I can pop the belt off too. Sweet. This compressor is going to be free in a second. get you out of the way a little bit so I don't smack you. Let's see if we can do that. So anyway, where we're at is we took out 2 bolts like this. These are 13s. Super easy to get to now we're in service mode. Move the belt to the side. You can see this is the serpentine belt, so just pop that off. Took the 2 upper bolts out. The 2 lines are disconnected, and all that remains is this final bolt here. Now, this compressor is not light, so I'm gonna just be careful trying to keep the camera there and get a hand underneath it. So just, you know, it does not feel like the whole weight of the compressor is on this bolt, which kind of concerns me. Nope. What on earth is still holding it? Yep. Nope. All right. Yeah, so what it was is light. You can see, if you have a look up here, see how there's a little end on that? It just sits on that. That's really nice. Dude, this is not engineered bad at all. Wow. Well, this is fun. Okay. So I guess the next step is to hit these O-rings. And I'm guessing they're the ones that come in the kit with the compressor. I'm going to use those. So I'm going to hit those with a pick. Get those O-rings off the line. I don't know if there's anything you're meant to condition them with. I've got a little bit of that oil, so I could always use a little bit of that on the O-rings. This one's super easy to get to. Look, it's right there. So yeah, we'll replace those O-rings and do that. And here, the sanding compressor that we believe has failed. So, yeah, we just used the pick on these 2 to get the 2 O-rings out. I'm going to do the same up here. Let's see if I can get the light into a good position. Hopefully it's not blocking the camera. It'll stick on the downpipe. So yeah, we're just gently using the pick to get underneath the O-ring and take it off. Same thing again. You know, these O-rings are still nice and pliable. Oops. There goes the light. Blinded by the lights. Whoops. Wrapped up like a deuce. Well, I don't even know where that one went, but anyway, it came off. I will find it. So, alright, let's go grab some new O-rings. Excelente. It's cool. You know what's interesting though is, anyway, so we're gonna go measure that pulley and then do that. Hey, if you ever wanted to do the oil pan on this, it looks super easy. Not like an E46 BMW. Let's have a look at our belt while we're in here as well. Looks fine.
Sweet. I guess 2 O-rings makes doubly sure there's no leaks. Excellent. Alrighty then. I guess we'll position the new compressor in place and then take off the dust caps. Alright.
So we got our bolts in, one, and then through this nice side angle, we've got two, and then three. Actually, that wasn't bad at all. Compressor located really nicely. Now we've just got to remove the plugs and the compressor and put the lines into it, and then connect our little power connector that's underneath. Let's do that. So I took the plate off the lower line of the compressor, and that's what we get. A bolt comes out, and also, that's weird, it looks like it's meant to be a stud. I wonder if it's meant to come out or not. Hold on, let's go look at the other compressor. The other compressor has a stud. Huh. I am not sure. Either way, if we can use it as a bolt to put back in. Or should we, before we pull the plug out, put it back in as a stud? Interesting. You know what? I'll remove the top one and see what that looks like if it comes out as a stud or a bolt. So yeah, let's do that while we're in here. I'm suspecting that's wrong. Look at this. That's got to be meant to be a stud, right? Interesting the way that came out. Yeah, so look at this. You see at the top of it? It's actually got like a hex on it. So it's, yeah, for sure that's meant to be a stud. So I'm going to pop that back in. Alright, now I've got to find the world's smallest spanner to get that back in. Oh, actually, that'll be nice for putting back on, see, as a tap. You know, maybe we'll do this in two steps here. Yeah, let's pull that plug across and put it in. I think that'll work nicely. So we're going to pull this plug out. Good grief. I wonder if there's some sort of vacuum on that. Do that frickin' it does not want to come out. Oh, it came out alright. Jeez. That sucker was in there good. Alright, just gonna move my line over and push that in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we'll just guess we'll find something to go on top of that, drive the stud in. Put the nut on and it'll be home good, then we'll work on the other one. Fascinating. Alright, so that's fun. Well, that's the world's, not the world's smallest wrench, but really small. 4 millimeters, check that out. We're going to put the stud back in. So we got our AC lines on. Those were studs. Just tightened them down a little bit. Now I'm going to make sure the belt is on correctly. So let's have a look at this. Yeah, let's just get this under the pulley here. Great. So that looks to be on correctly, all lined up. Wow, it's super simple. I mean, it only drives the alternator and the AC compressor, nothing else. Oh, because this car is EPS, electric power steering. So yeah, this is pretty straightforward. I can show you this where I didn't show you before. So I have this handy dandy wrench for doing the fan on. Ready? Chrissy, talk.
Your dinner is ready.
Okay, thanks. From doing the fan on E46. It's like 32 mil. It's not quite right, but it's enough just to do that. So anyways, you'll see as I pull this forward towards me. Oh, no, push it up, rather. Hold on. No, it's got to be push it. Yeah, that little button pops out. That's just a little thing to hold off the spring tension. Now the idler pulley is pushing down on the belt, and the belt is tension. Looks good. Yep. Then one last piece. Just get this power cable here. Really? All right. Hold on. There you go. Push that on. Just a little tab needed to be on. Wow. Think we're good. Well, that was way less painful than I expected. Alrighty, so compressor's in, all hooked up. I think everything's done there. I'll give it one more check over before I button it up. Still in service position, but I think I'm going to push the front back in before doing the condenser, just in case I get more play on these guys here. I don't know how rigid all of this is, but anyway, I'm going to remove these. I'm guessing that's T30. Yep. So 2 T30s, and then I presume those are T25. And I think I'll be able to pop that condenser out. So let's give that a try and see if we have the right O-rings.
Look what I found.
Okay. Let's see if anything holds that line, but see this one out. Good grief. Is that really fasten it, or is that just a little bumper? It's just a little bumper stuff at vibrating. It's just... I'm going to use 2 hands for this.
Okay, so we've taken these T25s out. 1, 2, 3, and this one just has a little piece there that comes off. Now, this one does not seem to come off. That just seems to rest on there, which is fine, I guess. So what I don't know, I'm guessing. Actually, these bits come off. All right. I'm guessing if we remove this, and the same with this, then this whole piece can slide to the left and off of these. And of course we'll replace the little O-rings while that's happening. So let me try that with a couple of hands here. In fact, I'll put you on tripod. Oh yeah. Wow. That was hard. Not like that sucker's bent. Nice. I gotta tell you, I bet the new one's not bent. It does make you wonder if there was ever any sort of collision. Good grief, the radiator's got like crazy narrow fins. It's nuts. I wonder if I can vacuum that off of that. Yeah. A lot of goop on the radiator here, so I might as well vacuum it. Right? It works plenty hard. Okie dokie, so here's our new compressor. What is this bag doing here? Well, and this isn't one take for this job, even though I put the same t-shirt back on. Actually, I stopped for dinner, went and did a quick bike ride. It is so nice tonight. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, it's cool, it's beautiful. So I went and got my bike ride in for Kate Courtney's COVID challenge. Oh yeah, what bike did we take? The Bianchi Ultra Ultra. Anyway, so good. So we're gonna pop these O-rings off. Oh no! You know what I was gonna do? I was gonna get this guy out. So here is our new condenser. Ah, sweet. Look, came with O-rings. Isn't that nice? Nice. Nice. You know, it's crazy. I mean, honestly, I'm assuming this all works when I'm done, but what's funny is the challenging bit of this whole thing is just taking that stupid bumper off and all those little fasteners. Everything else looks fairly simple. All right, let's put a couple of O-rings on. Very interesting. So, again, we'll use our pick to get these off. Huh. It just went in there so easy, right? Cool. One off. This pick is not super sharp, but I'm just trying to be careful not to scratch anything. All right, get our new ones out of the bag. All right, let's get these on. Snap that puppy on. Snap this puppy on. Snap. All right. Give them a bit of a wag. All right. I'm just gonna grab the pliers and remove the plug. Yeah. There we go. Hey, look, you can use your hands. Yeah, I didn't even need the pliers. So yeah, I took our plug out. Okie dokie. Oh, yeah. It's gonna help to put this in the right way up, right? God, honestly, you just have to breathe on this. You can start to bend those little veins. So I guess the easier does it is we drop it back in. It's kind of cool. It's going to rest on this piece here. We'll sneak it over to the right here. Perfecto. All right, let me go back in. Right. Oh yeah. And the same for you. You can go there, right? Cardboard plenty strong. All right. I guess we'll snug the lines up first, then put the bolts. I don't know why that feels right, but it does. You know when it's all going so well, and then you lose that one bolt that was there. like just a minute ago. There it is. Hiding in plain sight. See, this is why you always start bolt by hand, because I could have easily cross-threaded it. But you know what? I didn't. Nice. Nice. Okay, oh, yeah, just that bracket over there. Look at that! Charging. Man, I wish I could put some Freon in this and like really test it out. But we're gonna have to wait another day for that. Cause it's Sunday. Well, more than Sunday, it's Sunday night. Alright. Hope you're not out of range here. There you go. Well, we are done with what we needed to do. We're into reassembly land. Okie dokie. So what we will do is we're just gonna have a look, make sure nothing's messed up under here, and then we're gonna push this whole assembly back in, make sure these hoses reconnect and so on. So let's just guide this sucker back. I think honestly it's pretty straightforward. Let's hope so. Hello, little leaf. How did you get down in there? Alrighty. Maybe I should time lapse this. All right, so we're getting her put back together here. So, you know, the thing about getting this whole front section back in out of the service position, you know, it's weird. It like I pushed it up together and like pushed it back in. It didn't seem to line up. These pieces at the side didn't line up for where the bolts need to go. And I decided there's a process to this. So what I would recommend is push the unit back in until it seems to be located, and it'll seem to sit a bit far out, and then do these top bolts up, not like super tight, and then go below and do those, get those bolts in, but maybe not completely tight. Then come finish these guys off, tighten them up, and then tighten the underneath bolts. That seems to be the ticket for putting it back together. So next thing here, I guess, is we fiddle with the bumper and get that sucker back on. I think we're good. I'm hoping, I think that might be. I'm hoping these didn't come too far off. No, it looks like they're missing. Oh, damn it. Looks like that one snapped itself back in. You know, gosh damn it. I wonder if that's when my wife was cleaning out the leaves. Chrissy, it's not your fault. Anyway, so, well, hopefully we can get this back in without breaking anything. All right, back to time lapse.